What? It's even up. It's your boy Crabman here with my boy Heckenstein.
That's me.
Welcome to the Hello. What?
Exactly.
Yes. Hello, Wendesil. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing fine. Doing great. No, I'm doing good. Just gotta level it out.
Great, fine, and good.
Fine, great. It's good. It's in the middle.
It's
about fine. Fine is bad.
It's
polite. Obviously,
not worth mentioning, obviously.
Yeah. So
that's testing luck a bit.
So, but let me start with our today's sponsor.
Go for
this week's sponsor. Okay. This episode of the Hypnotic Hootout is proudly sponsored by Squareface. You know what's up. You've heard the rumors. Children shout moonface whenever they see you outside. Your face is just too round. It's unseemly. Well, fret no more, because here comes Squareface. Squareface, the amazing frame for your face that will force even your fat face into a nice, geometric, regular shape. Get it now! Go to squareface.com/hootout and order your first frame with free shipping. Do it now. You know you need it.
I do. And I actually know what this is referring to, so I got that one.
It's the first one?
Yeah. I am... hey, Nocity.
Nocity.
Yes.
Whatever we want to, you said, but...
Yes. I remember you telling me that.
I think Nocity is the right one. Because it's like toxicity.
So Nocity?
Yeah.
That also
and
like...
velocity?
Yeah, that rolls better.
Yeah.
Yes. Well... Yeah, I don't remember what the last two were, but yeah.
Flashlight? You don't know what flashlight is? Well,
I know what a flashlight is.
Yes. And they did sponsoring. I know they sponsored Joe Rogan for a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So the first couple of podcasts, they were often sponsored by Flashlight when nobody was doing podcasts. And the one before, I don't remember anymore.
I see. Yeah, me neither. But yes, this one I know because they were everywhere for a while in podcasts.
They still are. The YouTubers are all like every second one is.
I see Skillshare all the time.
Skillshare, I got one too, but I'm not quite proud with that one yet. Gotta find another twist to make that work.
That one and Audible. That's the two that I see all the time, everywhere. They seem to sponsor everything.
Yeah. But I have no idea for Audible. Yet. I'll find something eventually. I'm sure.
Sure.
No, I've been doing great. Actually, like the last 2 weeks, they went better.
Nice.
Yeah. I had a hard dip on Sunday. Hard dip, yeah. Okay, should I just report my week?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Welcome to the meeting. First of all, yes, we did the pleasantries, and so
yes. Now the facts.
First one is, what did we do last week?
Yeah, including the weekend, because of course it's Friday. So Saturday I played some Space Hulk, which is nice. I'm always surprised how well this board game holds up. So the board game, I think there's a PC game now too. I haven't Curiosity. Yes, this was the first one. This was.
Oh, what did you do with that?
Or no, it's still on the list. No, I'm sorry. That's still on the list.
Yes, I've heard of Curiosity Stream. I don't see it as much anymore, but yes,
I've got one for that. It's not as fun, but it's pretty near from the sound of it.
I kind of enjoy that, after all the discussions that we have with dumb niche ideas that nobody gets, that you come with the most niche joke imaginable.
It's not that niche. There's a lot of people listening to podcasts.
It's so specific, like podcast ads that you hear all the time, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It's
true.
Hey, Friedrich.
Hey, man. Yeah.
Anyways, you were
yeah. But,
space hulking.
each week I'll have a new sponsor spoof. I have quite a couple planned out. But eventually, I don't know. I'll have just to reimagine the old ones. Probably.
I guess.
Okay, but Space Hulk.
Yes.
Space Hulk, the board game, still holds up very well. I don't think you can buy it right now, so I bought the limited edition a couple of years back. It's asymmetric Space Marines against aliens. The cool thing is the Space Marines, they have like one squad of 4 to 6, or sometimes I think 8. Heavy Exterminator Space Marines, Warhammer 40k Space Marines, and it's so. What I love about this game is that it has this. It really maps the feeling onto the game rules. So Space Marine needs one action to do one step forward, and one action to turn 90 degrees, and they need 2 actions to walk backwards because it's so hard. Okay. The aliens don't. The aliens can turn around and you have a limited squad as a Space Marine player, and the aliens they spawn 2 new echoes each turn for them, and the echo can be 1 to 3 aliens, and you will only see it when you can see the echo, like visual contact with a Space Marine. Then he has to freewheel it, and then it can be 1, it can be 3. And it's really fun. Lots of dice throwing. It's basically the aliens run at the Space Marines and get slaughtered until they aren't, and then the Space Marines are dead. It's really great. It's a cool game. Had a lot of fun. And then do you have anything?
That's the one we played at your place in Berlin once, right?
We did play that once, right?
Yes.
I was unsure if we actually played that game or...
No, we played that one time in 2010, I want to say.
Probably.
Something like that. It was probably 11.
Yeah. And we wanted to do a game like that. Like from the feeling.
Yeah, I mean, also what I remember about it, I liked you had the small corridors and stuff, right? And I think there was like just a row of aliens coming in, right?
Yeah.
And that I like it in theory. I did not have that much fun playing it, but it's the kind of game I would probably more enjoy making than playing myself.
Yeah. Well, it's a board game, so.
We should try a board game someday.
Yeah, we should. Well, I played with a friend here. We talked like for ages to do this, and it was a lot of fun. And then we wanted to stop early, and we only played 2 rounds, and then we still talked to 2 a.m. about dice rules. He had a really nice dice system, which I will just coin with his name. So it's Tofu's dice system, and he doesn't need it, and it really works well with my pen and paper system I was struggling with. Not sure if it's too boring to explain. Should I?
Now I'm curious.
Okay.
Can you like outline the dice system? Like what do I have to imagine?
No, I have to start from the beginning.
Okay.
So there was Jesus. No. Okay, so I am working on a pen and paper system, or have been working for a long time.
Is it still online? Do you want to show it? Is it still online?
No, it's not online anymore.
Oh, okay. Too bad.
No. Because it has changed so much. And the idea was, when I started, I wanted just to have you should be able to roll lots of dice. I wanted to make it quick so people can roll up a new character, and I wanted to integrate the level progression into the game. So you don't have these, now you get experience points and you have to look up a table what to increase. So instead, let's just simplify it to what I think it will become with the next iteration. So you have different skills. Let's say cooking, and you have a skill value of 5. That means you get 5 dice to roll. And at first, that was in university. You remember? You roll the dice, and each die that has 4, 5, 6 is a win for you, and then you count how many you have, and that shows you how well you performed, basically. Yeah. But if you don't have any, then you fail and you progress because you will learn from your mistake. So if you fail horribly, you will still get something from it and be happy because now you are better. Next time you will roll 6 dice instead of 5. So the possibility that you roll no win is less and less every time.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, but the problem is that this is a flat probability.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a Gauss, what you wanted to have. So it's actually something. So the dice system, not the progression, but the dice system, is something they used in Shadowrun, the pen and paper, and we regularly died in just driving somewhere because someone had to roll the dice, and it's just possible that you don't have enough successes, and then you crash and you could die because the values you get when throwing the dice are not naturally distributed about over it. So the chance that you get 4 successes or just 2 is pretty similar. It's not quite, especially with the progression. And Dancy, back when we were in university, he wrote me like a little system to map that out, so I could see and understand it a little bit better. And I never got around that problem, that it was too chaotic. So the characters, they could be good, but you never knew if they would be able to open the door, basically, and that completely destroyed the fantasy. So, and Tofu's solution to this problem, he used it he's working on a tabletop, but don't tell anyone. Sorry, Tofu.
I'll try not to.
So his idea, which he doesn't use, which fits perfectly into mine, is that he just counts the biggest die. So, for example, 6. If you roll a 6, then you get 1. You count a 6 as a 6, and then each success, so 4, 5, 6, is just +1. And using this system, it's hard to imagine, but you have more of a curve. So it's much easier to map onto. You will never completely fail as easily as you did before. However, that means if you will progress if you roll just 2s or 3s or 1s. So then you would have like the smallest you can reasonably get is 3. I think it's maybe it's a bit too confusing.
Wait, did you just say what you roll, you apply +1 to everything?
No, you roll your 5 dice, then you look for the highest die, that is, for example, a 6, and then you count the other die, and each one that is a success, meaning it's a 4, a 5, or a 6, gives you +1 on the 6 you have. So it's, for example, you had 3 successes, you get 6 from the die, and then +3, so you get a value of 9.
Okay.
So you can still fail, and the more dice you have, the less likely it is to fail, to get like nothing above 3. And you still have like a value there, a 3, for example, or a 2 or 1, like in extreme cases if you don't have many die. So this is more, it's not completely, what's a distribution called? But it's not a flat distribution, it's a curve again. And that makes it much more, much easier for people to calculate if they can open the door or not. And like heavy, the grasping for words, the outcome will not vary as wildly as before. So this fixes my problem. Most likely. I haven't tried it yet. I have tried a cup, but I haven't tried it in play. But I will probably use it and whip up a test campaign and find a couple of friends who like pen and paper, and we'll try how this will work out. But I was really happy about that. It was just like such a coincidence. We came and talking, and that's why we talked till 2 a.m., which was a bit rough because on the next day, Sunday, I had to get up and go to a Twilight Imperium game, which started at 12. I think we started more at 1 p.m., right? Yeah, 1 p.m. You went? Oh, okay.
How would I know?
Okay, so I'm just going to continue. So Sunday. Well, we played Twilight Imperium. For people who don't know, I already talked about Twilight Imperium once. It's area control game. You all play different races, alien races. You build fleets. You have a home planet, and then you conquer different planets, and you get victory points. Whoever reaches 10 victory points first wins, and there are different ways to win them. So I'm not gonna get too much into the rules right now. I'm not really that good at this game. It's pretty complex. It takes a ton of time, and for the first time we played with 6 players. So it was a really long game, and well, I made a mistake in the first turn, and it was a bad one, a really bad mistake. And yeah, I was trying to convince the others, like, could I just change that? It's really stupid. I shouldn't have done that. They were, no, that's the rules. It's not your turn anymore. You can't change it. So this was my mistake, because what I should have done, but what I did is, as I always do, like I try to be like a reasonable, nice player. I'm okay. Well, it's just a game. It's okay. But I know I would get very frustrated this game, and I should have expressed my frustration at this point. And I'm sure if they knew how dire the situation was for me, they would have probably let me do this one change. I would have never won or something, but it would probably have changed that I would not have been last place for 9 hours. My neighbors were constantly like stealing my planets. They invaded my home planet when I left it open for us, because I just did a lot of mistakes. They were all better players as well. I took a race that's really difficult to play as well, not knowing that it was be such a detriment. And for the first time in my life, after 9 hours of play, I gave up. I said, okay, that's it. After my other neighbor just destroyed my new fleet, to just do anything, to just be able to do anything, not contest the board, not really do anything great, not win, just to have fun. I had built up my fleet again and was just destroyed, not because he needed to do it, just because he could. And it was there, and he didn't know what else to do. And I stood up and I said, okay, that's it for me. I can't get back. I'm not having any fun here. I'm just gonna take off. You will probably need like 1 or 2 hours to finish this game, and I'm gonna go home and watch a TV show or something. So this was really frustrating, and it really bugged me like the whole Monday through. And I'm not sure if they will play Sunday again. I think I still have to recuperate from this loss, because I was never owned so badly in a game ever.
Friedrich asks, was it a waste of time?
Yeah, I wonder. I thought about that. I thought about that a lot. But I don't think it was a waste, because I did realize that I still have like my inability to express frustration because of fear to like offend people really holds me back, even if I just trying to have fun and play games. And I think I don't know, this 9 to 10 hours, was that worth this realization? I hope so. I hope so, man.
But it's also your worst nightmare come true. A little mistake you made in the beginning ruins the entire game.
For sure.
So why couldn't you come back from that one move?
Because you need to colonize planets, and they give you resources. So you can build up your fleet, colonize more. And in the first turn, I just colonized one planet, and I should have done 2. And that effed up my trajectory for the whole game, because everyone else had 2 or 3, so they had more influence, more resources to spend.
Capitalism.
Yeah, totally. And then trading didn't go well for me because I don't have a lot of resources. Like, everything really depends on you getting your machinery working there. And yeah, really didn't work out for me. Man, I'm not really good at games like that either, because I try to optimize like one thing, and I forget that I have to do specific goals to win points. And that's okay. I have fun with that. I don't have to win these games. But I couldn't do anything because every time I moved, I was like beaten. Someone else got in from behind, stole my planets. It was a mess. It was really, really rough. But I learned something, so it's not fun, nothing. I don't know.
Maybe you could have learned something better in that time.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, Winston writes, he really likes how topics are dragged over our streams. Yeah, I love that too. And yeah, Friedrich says, I think as a group we would have started again just to make the PlayStation fair. Yeah, I think the problem was that we had a lot of good players playing in part for the first time together, so they really wanted to stick to the rules to have a fair game. But I was just so much less good as everyone else, and I don't think they quite realized how much worse I was. So they didn't give me like this benefit and said, okay, let's be lenient here. Yeah, but they should have. But they couldn't see how frustrated I was and how bad it looked for me, because everyone was just like looking for their game plan. So I'm not holding it against them. I had a fun with them. It was great, like just being there the whole Sunday. Yeah, they cooked and had beer there, so it definitely wasn't a waste of time. It was a social gathering at least. But
in Corona times,
man, well, small, 6 people. Yeah. So this was Sunday, whole of Sunday, and a bit of Monday too. But yeah, I'm just gonna go through my whole week now.
You already had it.
Yeah, it just goes one goes into the next. So go for it. So Monday evening, I met up with people online this time, Corona friendly.
But wait, I named the stream this week Chill Vibes Only, so tell it in a chill way.
Okay, so I always get so excited when I start talking. Okay, so, well, I met up with a couple of friends, just very relaxed online. With my brother and a friend from my hometown to play Diablo 1. So, there are a couple of cool mods for Diablo. One is the Janobog, which we used to play. Then there was the Hell, which we used to play. And now there's the Hell 2. It's actively developed. The dude has a Patreon. He calls himself Mordor. If you Google Mordor or just the Hell 2 mod, you will find it. It's pretty cool that you can now download a tool. It's called Redmin VPN, and that simulates a local network, because Diablo 1 just works local. There's no online play anymore, I think, or at least not with the mod, of course. Maybe there's an official Diablo 1 server still running, but the mod doesn't have one. But yeah, so you can play with up to 4 people. You can make the resolution bigger, but you just see more. It gets very small.
Zoom, huh?
Yeah, but it really has like so many new classes. The original game had, I think, 3 or 4 with Hellfire. maybe 5. But now you have like, I don't know, 15, 20 different classes, completely new progression system. You get different, you can give your characters in the creation, you can give them traits which always have a negative impact and a positive one. You get each level up, you not only get stats, but you also get perks, and the perk system is also completely new. Lots of stuff there, really, really great. It's very well balanced. We play on easy because it's really hard the game. So on normal you will suffer, but we wanted to have fun, so we just started on easy. Yeah, it's really a great game. It really brought a lot of memories back, and it's still a lot of fun. Somehow I love Diablo 1. It's one of my favorite games, and it's probably nostalgia, but well, as long as I'm having fun with it.
When this says original was 3, Warrior, Mage, and Ranger.
Yeah. But then Hellfire brought, I think, a monk or something. Yeah. Man, Diablo was such a great game, and yeah. If you have Diablo, I recommend going to the Patreon. You can download the last stable build for free. You can donate and get the new updates, which we haven't played. We tried to convince him to make a shared stash so we can trade, but yeah, he won't do that. And it's apparently it's not possible to increase the player amount for multiplayer games. Oh, okay. So it's 4 only. Chernobog is another. It's not really a mod, so it's a rewrite of Diablo. There you have more players. We are thinking about changing to that because now we have a couple more players who are interested. But yeah, I don't know. I think I want to play the Hell 2 more. Staying with 4 players. It's a cool game. Highly recommend it.
Never played it.
Yeah.
Well, I played it once or twice, but never played it.
Yeah, I can see that it's hard to get into because when I start the game and I start in the town, I feel all these emotions. It's just so great. It's so so dark and oh, and he also remastered the soundtrack. You can download that as well. It's just great work he's done there. Yeah, I think for $200 a month you can help him think of new items.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is worth it.
It's one of those things when you can't come up with anything to give people.
Yeah. When it says he knows the feeling when he hears the town music, the theme, the Tristram theme. I love that song. I love it so much. And it's still a lot of fun. It's I don't know. I really don't know what makes this game so great for me, because it's hack and slash game with RPG progression. It's nothing special. You get loot. You can equip the loot. You can build your character.
Where does this rank in the history of the genre? Was it one of the first ones, or were there others before that, and that was just a breakout hit suddenly?
No, I think it was one of the first. So Diablo 1 came out roughly at the same time as Baldur's Gate. And when they saw, I think Baldur's Gate was released before Diablo. When they saw this, because originally Diablo should have been turn-based as well. They thought they couldn't they couldn't release like a game that's so similar to Baldur's Gate, so they made it real-time only.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a great hit. But mostly, I think, for the theme, the atmosphere, because it really feels so dark and so hellish. And the deeper you go, the more you feel this. And the creatures are great. The sound effects are great. It's really hard to play. It was like if you played on hard back in the day, it was hard, really hard, and it was fun because it really felt appropriate for something like that.
Baldur's Gate came out almost 2 years after.
Oh, then they knew it would be. I don't know. That's what I heard.
When this says it was one of the first real action RPG.
Yeah.
All right.
That was great. Then Tuesday, what did I do Tuesday? I think Tuesday was... I didn't do anything. I finished Doom Patrol. Have you watched episode of Doom Patrol?
I have not. Friedrich just said Diablo was planned as turn-based.
Yeah, it was. And then they just fixed it replay. So everything in Diablo is tile-based still. You can see it if you really look.
Okay.
But they really made the right decision with this. Because you wouldn't feel this kind of threat if it was turn-based. That they can run behind you, you have to run away.
For sure.
Yeah. Doom Patrol?
I haven't watched it, but you told me about it last time.
Yeah, finished the first season. Well, not quite. It's so weird. It's so weird. You have to watch it to understand how, because this is something that made comics so great back in the day for me, the weirdness, and they completely lean into it. I'm just gonna give 2 examples. I mean, last time I told you about Danny the Street. By the way, Danny the gender neutral street.
Okay.
They, them. And then there is a guy called Beard Hunter who consumes beards and gathers from the beard the essence. And then he knows where the beard is, and he can predict what the person who has the beard will do. So as soon as he eats a bit of your beard, he can evade every one of your attacks, for example.
Nice.
The second one would be, I think Flex Metallo he was called, which is like a bodybuilder, and he has magical powers in his muscles. So he has to flex to do spells. Basically, he can he has control over time and space with his muscles.
Okay.
It's great. I think the end, I don't know, because it was just so weird, and I think they painted themselves like in a corner where there was no real good ending. So I was a bit disappointed by the last 2 episodes, but aside from that, really recommended. Really great. Yeah. Wednesday was here. We watched the stream of Red King's Lair. That was fun. That was fun. It was a really good episode. Although I have to say, I told Hannes just before we started watching that we shouldn't talk so much about our failures and how bad we are and everything and how bad we feel all the time, because I got some feedback that it's kind of too depressing what we do here. And then you guys just talk about your failures, and it was so compelling. And he was just all the time laughing and pointing at me and see. Oh,
it's nice to know that you struggled as much as we did.
Yeah,
it's actually we were both surprised that you struggled. We have a very similar history. Didn't know that because you're always very cheerful and involved in many things, and then it turns out, oh wow, you guys have been through pretty much the same horrors. You just seem to not feel the need as much as us to vomit that into the void.
Yeah. And you got the full prize money for the German computer.
I'm very, very upset about that.
Yes. But it's not your fault. I re-explained it. It's their fault for not giving us the whole one. Yeah.
That is that big defining sore spot that I have.
It's the one you will complain your deathbed. The one thing you regret.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Regret's the wrong word.
We won also in a 50k category, and we were screwed out of 40 of that. So I am.
Yeah, Fitty says he didn't expect to win anything. He wasn't even at the award ceremony.
Well, I guess we knew because they were in the process of screwing us and telling us about it.
Yeah.
So we went there knowing that they were going to give us a special prize instead of the best serious game that they wanted to nominate us for. That they did nominate us for. Before saying, oh no, actually, I don't know if these are serious games, but we still want to give you an award, but not that one with the 50k. We'll give you one with just 10.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
What we could have done with those 40 extra grand.
Yeah, I get it. Well then, Thursday. I don't know what I did Thursday.
I mean, you don't have to literally.
No, I'm just it's the last day. Come on.
If you don't need to, force something out if you're just like, there's nothing to tell.
No, there still is. Well, let's check my list. No, I watched Cobra Kai, the first season, on Netflix, and I got some of the recommendations that I thought, okay, let's try it. Also, for a while I couldn't get on Amazon Prime, so I had to watch something.
I'm suspicious of that one. How is it?
I was too.
It's all I need to know.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
I think I'd give it like a solid 7.5 to 8 even. It could have been better if they went a bit smaller. So I think like it takes you 3 episodes to get your first training montage. And that's really the what I want to see from a Karate Kid TV series. But yeah, the actors are great. The Karate Kid actor and the bad Karate Kid actor, I don't know how they are called. Sorry, I don't know names. They're really great. They have such good chemistry, and it's so believable. And they are, it's really believable and great. And the young people, so a lot of teens and stuff, they're all really good actors as well. And that's how they pull it up. It's really more, do you remember the Karate Kid movie?
I haven't seen any Karate Kid.
Oh, you haven't?
Nothing.
Okay, so I've seen the old one. And
I mean, I know of it. I've seen essays about it, so I feel like I've seen the gist of it, but I have not actually sat down and watched the whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but spread out over just more time. So I think this would have been like 10 movie, maybe 9. Let's just go by 9 of 10 point movie. If it was like 3 hours or maybe 3.5, it has to take that much time. But man, the last 2 episodes are great. They are perfect.
Oh,
they really like the first 3 episodes. I was like, oh man, well, it's not too long each episode. Maybe something's coming, and then it starts. It gets really interesting, and the second to last episode is the best. It's really great. Then the last episode, I think if they at least made it like a limited series, just first season, they would have made a better ending. But because they wanted to do another season, it's kind of there's payoff missing basically. Or they reopen or open new stuff that has to be dealt with in season 2, so it didn't feel as good as it could have been. But yeah, I recommend it. If you like Karate Kid, at least like the old movie. I haven't seen the Jackie Chan one. Lots of callbacks. It really has the same feeling, and the interesting thing is that it turns the focus around. So it's not about the Karate Kid guy being trained by Miyagi. Miyagi's dead. Karate Kid is now a car vendor and hasn't trained in ages, and it focuses on the bad kid in the tournament that tries to hurt him and loses. And I think in the following Karate Kid movies, his sensei destroys his award and stuff like that, and is a bad sensei basically.
but he's really washed up as well, and then starts training again, opens up his own dojo, and he's a really mean guy. I think there are only like two good characters likable characters.
Who's the mean guy?
Well, they're just two characters who aren't mean in this.
But you're talking about the villain kid, or
the villain kid.
Okay.
I wish. Does anyone know whose name that was?
Menace is asking, is it the same formula? He starts getting bullied, starts training, meets a girl, defeats the baddie, and gets the girl until the next movie / season.
No, it really switches around a lot of the stuff. It does. It knows that you are expecting this, and it really switches and makes it more interesting. It looks like it goes that way, but it doesn't always. And the interesting thing is. So the Cobra Kai motto is strike first, strike hard, no mercy. And he teaches, the first kid he teaches is someone who just has no self-esteem, who's always bullied.
Let me give you some names so we can follow you, maybe.
Yeah, sorry.
So the old karate kid is called Daniel LaRusso. The old bad guy is Johnny Lawrence.
Yes.
And then there's some new kids. Miguel
Miguel is the
Diaz.
Is the first student.
So
he's like really soft spoken. He's an outsider, and then he gets trained by
Daniel.
Daniel? No, by the bad guy.
By the bad guy. Oh, by Johnny.
By Johnny. Yeah. It's Cobra Kai. It's focused on the on the bad school, and they are really aggressive. Basically, he teaches the kids to be more aggressive that are like the weirdos. And I realized that this is something I really need to learn as well, and I think a lot of people need to learn to stand up for themselves. But there's a fine line between like standing up for yourself and being like overly aggressive, and the movie is really about this line. And
okay, now it gets interesting. Maybe I'll watch it after all.
Yeah, and Daniel is so the Miyagi-Do is always like about balance, but because Daniel has stopped playing, learning karate, he has kind of lost the balance as well. So he isn't the good guy anymore.
So it's the Last Jedi.
Yeah, it's similar. It's very similar. In that, it's very similar in that regard. It knows the source material. It knows what you are expecting. It turns some stuff around, not everything, and it has a couple of really interesting questions it tackles. So, recommend it.
Cool.
So then it was Friday. I came here. No, last thing. I started working a lot more. Somehow with the safe system gone, I started getting in the routine, and I'm working on the wizard every day. I need to like close the Unity to stop working, because I always find something I could do.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I've been waiting for this. Way less stressed out now than like the weeks before. Yeah. You want to show?
Yes. I want to show what you've been doing.
Yeah. I've finished like the safe system, did a couple of bugs. I played around with the colors again because you said it's too dark.
It is too dark.
Yeah, I know it's still dark, but this is the darkest level. So
no, I mean this is fine.
Okay.
Previously it was. I mean, you've seen how this looked here. You could not see this much.
Barely see anything.
Yeah. Let me open this in
show.
the tab. Paste and go. No, that's what? Didn't I just copy the?
Yeah, it's Windows.
Okay, let's do that again. Copy link, please. Paste link. Yes, that's the link that I want. OBS.
Yeah.
Browser. Switcheroo.
Same format starts. New insights on the wizard. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, the screenshot. That is it. I like it. What I wanted to suggest to you was to try giving basically the grays a little bit of a desaturated blue hue. You know, like a David Fincher movie. Because I think that would be a nice contrast with the colorfulness if it wasn't just gray, but a bit bluish gray.
Yeah, I did some color correcting stuff on top. That's the reason why I can't do GIFs anymore, because they're just green now. It's just ugly green. I just added some glow to the books.
Yeah,
I wanted to show off. But what did I work on?
But I mean like on a texture level, right? Not in a color correction way, but that the walls are like a little bit blue. So that, for example, the pipes are still gray and they stand out a little bit from it.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy to do. Sure.
I think that might be nice as a cold contrast to the warmer, glowy things.
No. I did the UI. So I switched to Unity's UI system from before. I did everything in World, which had a little bit of problems. A lot of people suggested that I should just do it in the Unity because it's now good apparently, and it's good. Didn't take me too long to redo the status bar at the top, which you can see here, and the game over menu. Then I could test the checkpoints and all that stuff. And it's good. I see myself like ramping up, and I'm confident I'll be able to finish something nice for the release, and maybe even a bit before, so we can send out demo levels this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see checkpoints are now already visually included.
And they start glowing if you go over them, so you know which one is active.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's just that I see that I progress with the project. That gives me so much confidence and happiness, and I'm more and more motivated to work on this. I just have to watch out that I'm not burning myself out with too much work, because I start firing up Unity late at night just to see if I can, how the level looks, or if I want to do anything, and then I start working again till 1 or 2 a.m. Then I realized that it's maybe not the best way, but sometimes, I don't know.
I mean, if you do it because you have fun, that's okay.
But sometimes the next day is rough. So
well, you have to allow yourself to rest the next day if you're not feeling it.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, if you borrow time from tomorrow, then take it off. If you need that. That's
Yeah, so that's my life for last week. Don't think I forgot anything, but you're gonna check anyway.
I doubt it.
Check anyway. Nope, that's all.
All right.
How has your week been?
Okay, so an hour in, I get to tell some stories.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
And then
Do I have any?
You don't have any?
I'm wondering, do I have any stories? So I guess if I go through my weekend, the week, starting with the weekend, I was working. That wasn't very interesting. It was nice enough though, because, working, not this, but the glamorous job of restocking a breakfast buffet for some, which mostly means refilling some orange juice for some hungry Germans.
Sounds like there's a game into it for that. Could be a game.
But yeah, my sister was there, so we chatted most of the time, so that was fun. It's nice to be paid to chat. What else did I do? Did I do anything? I mean, I'm right now still in that... No, I guess you can't call it a vacation. But I'm trying to calm down from the burnout that I gave myself. So I am not doing much, but a little, so that I, don't feel more stressed for not doing something. And just working on the soundtrack a bit, remastering the soundtrack, which is nice because it's not crucial, and because I've been bothered by the soundtrack pretty much ever since we've made it. Despite all the people telling me that it's better than Morrowind, I still feel that
should be Skyrim level.
Yeah, I know. I knew back then that this wasn't perfectly mastered, but it was good enough.
Didn't Gilliam master this?
He did the first step of it, and then I went over that again to tweak it to my taste as best as I can. And yeah, I think I've come a long way since then. Like if you compare the theme to the new teaser theme, that's a world of difference in terms of quality. It's still the exact same thing, but just sounds so much better. And that's I like these parts, especially the first in that level. All right, we're still on that screen, but in that level, the music that starts there. Actually, I guess I'm just gonna quickly throw that on because then you know what I'm talking about. Let me turn this up a little maybe and turn this down a little maybe, just to have that balance between people hearing it and not hearing echoes. It is number 2, this one. What? So in this one, let me look at the level.
I see.
It's not playing at all for people, right?
Because... Yeah.
Okay, good thing we didn't need the stuff before. Still no? Okay, whatever. Well, it's the pizzicato string.
We hear music, says Wendy. Yeah, but you hear it over the mic, probably.
That's true, I guess. No, I'm not seeing the... But why? Didn't I just change it? That's weird.
Maybe you have to restart Fuba.
Oh.
To work on that channel?
I pressed slightly
okay.
below the one that I needed. Okay, wait, so let's try this again. This one. And yeah, these strings, they just sound a little bit too wet, a little bit too in the room, a little bit ugh. And I mean, that's a little bit of that bothers me, is just how, I guess, these types of strings work in general and how I just have the sound library for it. I don't think they're recorded in the best way, but that's also part because we only have the gold edition. We don't have the platinum with all the various extra angles for microphones that you could get. But yeah, I started doing this and it already sounds a lot better. And this is before I started mixing and remastering it. Yeah, I just like improving those little bits, but I always cringe a little when I hear it. Sort of where I see the flaws in quality now, 6 years later. And I mean, I'm still probably not the best at mastering and all that stuff, but at least a little bit better than back then. And I mean, that's all we promised people. I mean,
I love that sound too. I don't know if it sounds too wet. I mean, it's the sewers, right? So it can sound wet.
That's in that it sounds a bit cheap to me, and I'm trying to get it to not sound as cheap.
Well, I can get behind that.
It's still gonna be the exact same tracks, just a little bit less cheap.
Okay, we're gonna make the same game, but now the soundtrack doesn't sound cheap and the graphics don't look cheap or as cheap.
That's all we're going for, yeah. Yes. So I think that was, I mean, most of my week was trying not to do anything, which is...
You didn't watch anything?
I did watch something.
So?
I know what I watched today. What else did I watch? I'm pretty sure I watched something. Well, let's start with today. So just before this, and as you can follow on my Twitter if you want, I was watching for the very first time Sleepless in Seattle.
Huh. Never
seen that movie before. And
I watched it with my mom, but I can't really remember much.
I've seen You've Got Mail a bunch of times, but I've never tried Sleepless in Seattle. Which was nice. I see why people like this. I expected to be bored because it's a movie from the 90s and
they're weird.
It's not the 90s anymore, but it was actually, that's an okay movie to watch. Nothing to write home about, but it's... And yeah, that was mostly fun. I mean, then you stumble across, well, I guess artifacts of the time or whatever, but you know, when some casual transphobia is slipped in, that was what I was like, that's... But overall, I liked it. I also liked that it was a lot of these scenes rang really true. Like, he has this moment where, like, his kid calls into a radio show because his dad is still sad after the mom died a year ago and stuff. And then the radio psychologist wants to talk to him, and she asks, like, so what do you do? And he's just like, well, I get up in the morning and I breathe in and out all day, and then he goes on to like, and someday I won't have to remember to get up, and so that this way gets better and stuff. But I really like the acknowledgement of how just getting up, just making it through another day is a very, very, well, it's an accomplishment. That it isn't like, oh, why do you decide to be sad? But it like kind of embodies this thing of depression, how it's already something to just stay alive. Don't even get up, to just make it through another day. And if you can get up, awesome. So that part rang true in a very good way, I feel. And there were a couple scenes where I was just like, there's Rob Reiner, the guy who directed Spin Tap. Is it called Spin Tap?
Spinal Tap?
Spinal Tap. See, I knew there were some letters missing.
Spin Tap is a completely other movie.
Does it also exist?
No, but just imagine a tap spinning, people standing around, spin the tap. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, I haven't even seen Spinal Tap. I just know that he directed it.
Yeah, but it's a documentary, right?
It's a fake documentary, yeah, I think.
Is Spinal Tap not a real band?
No, it's a parody, I think. It's a mockumentary.
Okay.
Because that's the thing with it goes up to 11. Why not make 10 louder? It goes up to 11. You know that scene where they...
No, not really.
I've seen that everywhere, so I assume that's just what you know. That's where you know Rob Reiner from, I figured.
Yeah.
But so he's like the colleague and friend of Tom Hanks. He doesn't feature a lot, but they talk. Because Tom Hanks is like, so what's the dating scene like? I have been out of it so long. And he's like, women, they just like cute butts now. And Tom Hanks is like, do I have a cute butt? And so they're walking on the street and he like just lifts up his jacket, look, it's not too bad. But is it cute? I don't know. And it's just that's a type of like, wholesome masculinity. Yeah. I'm just like, why aren't more movies like this? I mean, obviously I know why, but it's...
Well, this is a movie for women, so this is allowed.
Yeah, but that was nice. It was very wholesome in many places, and I did enjoy that. Also how, because Meg Ryan is... I mean, that was a little bit weird. Like, Meg Ryan is dating Bill Pullman, the president from Independence Day. And he's obviously the guy she's gonna leave because she's gonna meet him in a little. And I was a little bit... How do I feel about this? Because he's portrayed as... Like, he has... like every allergy in the book, and when he meets the family photo, he's not completely portrayed as like, lol, look at that guy, but there is this element to it. Like the first time they meet the parents, like he has a sneeze attack and he can't eat this and he can't eat that, and it's a little bit of a mocking vibe.
Yeah. But
he gets a fully realized character, and when they do break up, like the conversation is also very very wholesome, like just two people agreeing. Like when she tells him she's not 100% into this and she doesn't want to get married after all because they've been engaged, and he's like, I don't want to be someone that someone needs to settle for. And he's very supportive of her going to meet this mystery person that she's never, and I liked those parts. So it's I had a good time, I would say. And otherwise, I think I just caught up on some YouTube stuff, caught up on the last Philosophy Tube things, especially the newest one.
Which is?
What was it called? It was about Shakespeare and stuff.
I haven't seen that one.
That was so much fun. Like it felt like I haven't laughed or had a good time with these BreadTube videos in a while. And I guess it's because this one was more about... wait, actually, let me look up the topic, because then I might know what it was
abortion? About. No, that's someone else. So I just saw like abortion, Philosophy Tube.
So,
that might be something else. Okay, philosophy 2. What did he do? Confucius, or what to do when elites break the rules. And it was really funny. It was not too dark in terms of subject matter. And I just had a good time watching it. And it was very, I don't know. I like him, and I like the way he looked in that one, because he had sort of like a Shakespearean thing going on, like clean shaven, the hair like wavy, and then he had sort of a big, what do you call these things from a suit?
Sash? No.
Like the suit jacket. Like a purple one, and it seemed kind of big, like as if he had shoulder pads or something. But it had sort of an actor, like the typical actor vibe, and then his face to that. And when he talks about Confucius' rule, he had like a triangle that he hit every time after he said one. There was a lot of fun there.
That's cool.
And my wife, who's by the way watching
live
today, because she got a new phone.
That's nice. Hi, Bobby.
I'm not even sure if I mentioned this on the stream, since everyone's surely very invested in me seeing my wife again, that South Africa is now loosening restrictions, which means we may be able to finally work out that she can come here. The thing is, just because of the name change, obviously her documents need to be updated and all that stuff. Yeah. So that was a bad call. But yes, but for travel, she would need to have the Corona tracking app on her phone. But because the phone she had was too old, we just got a new-ish one, and so now she can follow along. Apparently logging into the chat didn't work, but she's here and she's reminding me that I did watch How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Okay. So it's been a rom-com week for you.
I guess it has. And I like that film also, but partially it's such a very millennium type of movie, because it's like a cringe romantic comedy.
Yeah.
So it's about like Kate Hudson writes for a lifestyle magazine, and to get ahead, she has to write a piece that's sensationalized and whatever. And so she writes How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. She wants to start to date someone and try all the usual, the worst things you can do in a relationship when it just starts, and to get rid of him. And he's and works in advertising, and to get a job about diamonds, to prove that he understands women, he has a bet with his boss that he makes a woman fall in love with him in 10 days. And so she tries to...
Have we watched this movie?
I'm sure you know it. I mean, it's one of those movies, Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson.
Yeah. But I don't watch movies like that usually, so it's...
Maybe you've seen it on TV 20 years ago or something like that.
Is that old?
It's 2000 something, I think.
Okay.
Around that time. It feels very millennial, very late 90s, early 2000s, in that it's so uncomfortable because she tries to, of course, like, be as obnoxious as possible. Yeah. And I don't know why I get this intense, what is that, like a second-hand embarrassment?
Fremdschämen. I think it's in English, it's the same word.
Probably.
I've seen it. Have you seen like the Google statistics about the word Schadenfreude?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like literally, I had like to close my eyes and hold my no at some points during the movie. It's just, it's not even so bad. It's so embarrassing. Yeah. But overall, it was an okay movie. I did enjoy that. But yeah, just catching up on BreadTube, that was great. Also, finally watched started to watch the last couple ContraPoints videos that I haven't seen since. I hadn't watched it since Cancelled, and I hadn't watched it either. And so this was after I was through watching all the new Philosophy Tube. I was like, okay, then watch that, because I like to have sometimes just people talking at me.
Yeah. Not just they're really putting on a spectacle. Yes, especially those two.
Yeah.
Philosophy Tube and ContraPoints, they really put a lot of effort in their videos, and you see that in it.
Yeah, the production value is insane.
It's really fun.
I don't want to know how much money they spent on sets and shit. Yeah. It's crazy.
It looks like they are enjoying it, so.
Well, the thing with ContraPoints was that So you mentioned something along those lines before, but ContraPoints on occasion gets into leftist outrage, like leftist hate mobs.
You mean that she is the victim of, yeah.
And that was an interesting discussion, which which what it sort of was. I think that's what you said about the Cobra Kai thing, about what was it? You know there's something wrong, but you go too far in.
Yeah, there's a line between like standing up for yourself or standing up for anything and just aggression and.
Yes, and that was what Cancelled was basically about, and which is. Well, it's an interesting thing to think about because it was about non-binary people who were hurt by a couple of things, she said.
It was about a cooperation with this one dude
who had apparently
made some transphobic remarks.
And I think I guess that's the complexity, because I think that ContraPoints agrees with them, just not with the idea of ostracizing and like coming for that person on that level. More on a I want to talk to this person kind of and change their mind kind of a thing, because it's close enough that you can maybe do that. And well, I don't know I haven't like gone into like researching exactly what happened, because she only like outlines it briefly but doesn't go deep into it, because at some point she says, okay, if we're actually now doing this, going back to articles that were written 20 years ago that I couldn't buy on eBay because the person canceled the order last minute, and then I found a Spanish version and then I wanted to translate, and maybe that's the point to stop digging and doing this stuff. And then also in the way, okay, people were hurt, and I think she does acknowledge that pain is real and apologizes for the parts where she did say something stupid, but it also goes a lot into how these things get taken out of context, blown out of proportion, in terms of there were a lot of terms, obviously, that she threw around that I can't remember. I know that there was something about essentialism and this dualism of you can either be a good person or you're evil, and that missteps make you evil, and that's why it's okay to harass you because of those things, and how basically these mobs can form. And it was interesting to think about, because when I think about these Gamergate and 4chan and hate mobs, it seems like such a moronic force of just idiots who want to hurt other people. But then you look at non-binary people who have a very real pain, obviously, and from all directions, because even I think I don't know, that's the impression I'm getting, that even in that they're basically like bi people, and that they're getting erased from both sides. That like that's just how this as I said, I'm not too sure, but that's how the sense I was getting, that non-binaries equally treated as, oh, you just haven't made up your mind yet that you're actually trans, the same way that bi is being treated, no, you're actually gay, you just haven't, and the erasure of the complexity, basically. And that some of these things that were said, or some associations, hurt people, and how that can that really real and very reasonable pain, how that can spiral into basically the trauma reactions can make you overreact, even though you're justified in reacting, but the way you're reacting can become toxic. And then when these things like bounce off each other, and then you only hear what other people say who like maybe misunderstood something or had a trauma response where they were triggered by something that is very real, but that may not have been said. I don't want to belittle, if you notice that, I'm trying not to belittle the pain that was there, but to sort of explain how I understand what happened, like what went wrong there. And how it feels cathartic to lash out, and to lash out with other people, and to kind of forget that you're talking to a person, and you kind of forget to regulate yourself to the point where you can look at this and say, is this the most constructive thing, or to make constructive criticism rather than just saying you're trash and everybody who associates with you is trash, because that also happened then, that her friends were being harassed and you have to disavow this person or you're part of the people who are going to get targeted and stuff. And so suddenly you have a 4chan style hate mob, but one coming from a place I understand much better. And I guess in that point you could also say, I might not sympathize with the 4chan pain that they have, but it's also something that's, I guess, real.
Nah. I think you have to leave out the word 4chan here. Because 4chan is about, like, doing it for the lulz, right? There is not usually a pain.
No, but
they don't need pain to do shitty things.
I think they're probably the worst kind of people, but I think that there's a pain at the core of it because, well, they look at the system that is causing them the same pain as us, like the thing about productivity, performance, what it means to be a man and all that stuff. We live in a system where we are broken down, but they take that and instead of saying the system sucks, they say, actually, it's the one who are hurt the most by the system that are doing this to me. It's women's fault that I don't feel manly. Which is not true. It's a patriarchy.
Maybe. But before all that stuff, the usual 4chan rates were like they all logged into Habbo Hotel or something like that, where children play. Then they go in front of the pool so nobody can go into the pool and say the pool is closed. And then they build like huge swastikas out of people. And I don't know who they're fighting against. It's just children there, or they go on children's forums and then they just post gore until they have to close the forum. So it's not. It could be like that. There is a pain that, or it's just like the pain of boredom maybe, and they don't know what to do with their life, so they try to find something in this community and this outlash against whoever.
But I mean,
I think that's a very specific kind of thing what 4chan is doing.
Sure, but I still think that, and to be clear, I'm not excusing that at all. Like none of, even if I can sort of empathize with a certain part of it, I do not at all empathize with the expression of it or anything. I still think that's a completely moronic, hateful, terrible thing. And but what I was thinking of, because I think edgelords, people who are like, oh, it's just a joke and just follow those are the people who are hurting the most because they're trying to turn everything into a joke so they don't have to feel the pain of it, right? You're feeling miserable within yourself, but feeling things that hurts you, push them away. And so
things is gay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then nobody else and everybody who feels something, well, they're look at you feeling things, pretending, convincing myself that I don't feel something to counteract like how terrible I actually feel. Yeah. I think that's what I mean. Like
it's interesting that you are now showing like empathy kind of with these people, because we've talked about this a bit before, right? And I was usually on the empathy side, and you were like, no, you can't have empathy with people like that. They're just bad people, and you have to.
Well, my bottom line is still that they're very, very, very bad people.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm saying I'm not condoning anything or like empathizing with the expression.
Never did either. It's just like there is something. It's not that they are born bad. The system they are victims of the system, and they find very unhealthy ways to cope with this. Also, sorry, just I heard like a nice quote for that. It's like, what doesn't kill you gives you unhealthy coping mechanisms. Yeah, something like that. Can bring me a beer as well.
Well, if I must.
Yes, you must. Yeah, what doesn't kill you cripples you. Yeah. I don't know what Nietzsche really thought with this. But yeah, it brings me pleasure turning this quote on its head.
So, the reason we've had these types of conversations that you're referencing. Like, the reason that I argue with don't empathize in this very moment is when we talk about other more pressing, like when we talk about racism and the deaths of people, and then talk about but empathize.
Right.
That takes away, because like this is like without comparison and without. That's what I'm saying. I still think that they're awful, horrible people. I get that everything happens for a reason, and that reason does not excuse that at all, because we also suffer from the same thing they do. And we have probably hurt people, and
for sure,
then still do it probably. But
I mean, I'm recovering. I'm not really. I just thought about your expression, like recovering racist. I thought I'm certainly a recovering centrist as well.
For sure.
And not that long on that way either.
And that was just, I guess it was for me less about, because I know this about the 4chaners. I know that they have the typical white male rage, right? Of the, we should be on top of everything, but somehow we're not. And that doesn't make sense. So it must be women and other minorities who take away this God-given right that we were born with, rather than that the system is actually shit and everybody suffers under it.
And I think like that this is such a male white centric media sphere that we have. Like all the heroes are white, and stuff like that. Not all the heroes, but you get what I'm trying to say. Is I think that reinforces this idea that, damn it, why am I not on top of things? That's what I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be like way more successful and stuff.
Yeah. Must be the foreigner's fault.
Yeah, or women. Either or. Foreign women are the worst, right? I'm sorry.
I think in this specific thing that I'm thinking of, it's still foreign men that are the worst. But that was more the thing of like recognizing that like these cancel, like what cancel culture, I guess, like really is, even though it's debatable that exists. But basically, what that refers to in ContraPoint's examination of it, that people who like genuinely got hurt and want to express it, and it leads to canceling, which can turn into this type of hate mob. That's just something interesting to think about, that it's not a purely only my enemies do this kind of a thing. That toxic expression can happen anywhere. And even with ones that I empathize with much, much more, is still the dynamics of that, like how it's just an interesting thing. It's a long video, it's an hour and 40 minutes, but it's a very very interesting examination. But it flows. So
I've watched it, but it's been a long time.
And I also rewatched In Search of a Flat Earth because I just loved it.
Yeah, that's just fun.
So that is really good.
And you can really see how much fun he has, like traveling out, doing the pictures, doing the math, and then proving that the Earth is not flat, and everyone could just give a bit of work.
It's really a beautiful
it's
a piece of work.
Folding ideas in Search of a Flat Earth. I think we talked about it a couple of episodes back when I watched it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yes.
So I think that's mostly what I've been doing. What else have I been doing? Maybe have cooked some stuff. So I'm just kind of trying to calm down still. And I guess we'll see how that turns out. So far, so good. Should we do a topic?
Yes, we still have half an hour to fill. Let's go.
All right, let's switch to that one again and go to our cool topic generator. Prettiest games.
Oh, that's fun.
So we have a...
Wish I had like half a day to prepare for this.
That would be boring. Tell me, what's the prettiest games you can... I have something, and it's The exact same game I always talk about is I Find Prince of Persia, the 2008 one, the self-shaded.
Oh man, why do we have different topics if it's always gonna land on this game?
It's just literally one of my favorite games. So
every aspect, obviously.
It's so good. But it looks so pretty. I love cel-shaded stuff for the most part. There's a weird type of cel shading that where the lines, the outlines, the edges look like they're breaking in parts. And then it looks more like that facade. That type of like bad cartoon. But yeah. Otherwise pretty.
I don't know if Diablo 1 could be called pretty, but I really like the look.
It's pretty stylish at least. No, it is pretty.
It's really consistent, atmospheric. Oh, Journey, says Wendersil. Journey is a really pretty game. That's true. Journey is really pretty. I think we don't have the hardware to really play the real pretty games.
Like what? What are you thinking of?
I don't know because I don't have the hardware for it.
I mean, something that I played only recently, Manifold Gardens. That was very, very pretty.
That was pretty. Yeah, that's true.
That's a beautiful game, actually. Yeah. I wish that, like, I've wanted to record the ending again, and I tried it on a higher bitrate to capture what it does, but it always breaks.
Yeah.
The ending is awesome. It's just visuals, just people showing off how good they are at shader programming. Yeah. It looks amazing, but you can't capture it because any compression immediately it's all artifacts. It's so intricate and it's cool stuff. Well, I haven't tried that hard, but my second attempt didn't work, so I gave up. I had a really good time with that, just because it was so nicely designed. I like that one. I mean, there's a couple of games that look beautiful in screenshot, like Apsu. I have not played it. I have it.
I've played it.
And how is that?
That's beautiful.
Cool.
It's beautiful. It's not like, oh my god, it's so pretty, I can't stop playing. It's more, I don't know. I find with the relaxing games that I usually get bored. Because if I want to meditate, I just sit down and meditate. I don't want to have to do anything. I don't want to swim around and find fish. But it's a pretty game. It's definitely a pretty game. I think I would say Scarlet Hollow, the game I recently tweeted about, hand drawn by Abby.
Oh, the one.
Yeah. I think that's pretty. That's a pretty game.
Okay, tell me the name again. Let's look it up.
Okay, Scarlet Hollow.
Scarlet Hollow.
Yeah, it's a neat name too.
It's a musical group.
No. First link.
Oh, yeah, I wanted. Yeah, okay, let's do that.
Yeah. Black Tabby Games also. Nice name. I think like indie studios with animals in their names are the best.
Yes, for sure.
Shout out to Red King Entertainment.
What's a horror adventure?
I really like her style, like the broad strokes she does for the shading.
Yeah. I'm trying.
And actually, can you go back for a second, just a frame before?
Yeah.
And then you need to pause. Yeah, pause. So this is actually the picture she was illustrating when I came into her stream and suggested she could make an adventure game. And she couldn't talk about the game because it wasn't announced yet. Oh man, such fun. Yeah, but I love her style, and her webcomics are really great. She's a great humor. But she's really on a dark side, like really dark humor. She loves like horror. She loves digging up bones and collecting them. Not human bones, but like animal bones.
Because I've heard stories about that, like goth kids who, to do some witchcraft or whatever, go to cemeteries and like take home bones that are...
That sounds exciting too.
I think Sarah Z had a video on that. I think that's how I know about like some Tumblr scandals or whatever.
Mm.
Or was that Strange Eons? One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't played it yet. I always wanted to do like a quick stream because first episode is free.
Oh.
I might do it if you aren't faster.
I am gonna refrain from anything that can be construed as work. So streaming sounds like work. I'm trying not to, because I've been thinking about it, of course. Like my great idea to relax was to try... Do you remember these 96 kilobyte games?
Like demos? From the demo scene?
Yeah, sort of like all generated from code and shit.
Yeah.
And I was always super interested in that, like, because they generate like... There was this thing with a subway was going through a city and the camera was floating around, and even the soundtrack, the music I think was generated and shit like that.
Yeah, everything.
And so I thought, I have no idea how any of this works. I'm not gonna look it up. How about I just try to program something like this on stream?
Sure.
So that was my way of not working. Was my first idea to do that.
Let's try to do a game, but just 64 kilobyte, because that's easier, right? Less space, easier.
Yeah, I would try to figure out on my own how to do something like that.
Yeah. Sounds like fun.
I mean, I'm gonna do that probably, but I don't know if streaming it is the best idea. But do you remember what that one was called? Because I could only find the one that did after. It was called .k Krieger. They always had .kk somewhere.
Yeah.
The company was called .the product with double K instead of a C. And I couldn't find the subway one.
Demo scene. Then you will find stuff like that, but probably not that, because it's a big scene, I think. Relatively speaking.
Maybe I gotta see if I still have the contact from John. What was his name? Well.
Oops. I'm sorry. I broke it. I just wanted
so
to.
I guess you don't want to see the rest. Huh? Ooh.
Yeah, that looks just great.
Niceness.
Yeah.
What else is pretty? I mean, I guess if I go through the years more than thinking now what's pretty.
I would just go through my Steam list if I could, but you...
Why would you? If you can't think of it, it's not important. I guess back in the day, I thought that Monkey Island 3 was ridiculously beautiful, and I still think that they should just re-export the images in a higher resolution and re-release it. The easiest remaster in the world.
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing it?
Oh, what was that Cyberpunk game that recently? Cloudpunk or something?
Oh, Cloudpunk. Looked pretty. Yeah, Cloudpunk.
It looked very pretty.
That looks interesting. For sure. No, don't say that. So, wait, what's happening? Punk. Yes.
Does it want to work? Yeah.
Cloudpunk on Steam. What's the good word? What? Double click should always open the thing. I fail.
Yeah.
But of course, okay. So that obviously brings us to an interesting story. Damn it! Now I wish I could have prepared.
See?
So let's see if I can't find...
Are you sharing your browser, by the way?
Oh, am I?
I just want to...
Oh, yes, I am. Okay,
cool.
Good. So what are people saying?
Oh, Hollow Knight. Yes, Hollow Knight.
All right.
Oh, wow, what's the other one?
Also said something.
Dépannage, what?
I think I copied it. Let's see. Ooh, Dépannage Nocturne.
that one.
I also have never heard of that one. Okay, well.
Steam didn't hear of it either.
Did it not load or what's happening? Oh, okay. So, a short exploration game. Well. What? Why is nothing working?
Your internet is...
It's literally not... Okay. But wait, can people still see... We have no dropped frames, our connection is good, it can't be the connection. Can you just please just play it? Maybe it doesn't want us to know how pretty it is. Ah, there we go.
I tricked it.
Third time's the charm. What? Why do you hate me?
Yeah, well, you go in full... okay. It's the gradients, right?
Well,
that's
nice. I mean, it looks nice, but I don't think I would have brought it.
Trippy cat.
Though I was briefly thinking of 30 Flights of Loving, but
not sure right.
I think I just love the game, and I'm not sure if I would like single that out as a particularly pretty one. Although it has some good scenes, like when they're at the wedding and people starts floating up and stuff. That's some good stuff. So what did Hollow Knight?
Hollow Knight is really great, that's true.
Let's see what that is all about.
It's also hand-drawn. I guess, what would be... What's the other one, the hand-drawn one?
Which one? Tell me more.
Let's just look at that for a minute. That's really pretty. But I don't know if it would make my list, to be honest.
It's got something. Although it feels a little clean. What's that? It's too clean.
Yeah, it's too clean. Have you heard of Hades?
Yes,
the
but I
new
haven't.
Supergiant game.
I haven't looked into it.
So Supergiant games are pretty as well, like all of them. But I think Hades is probably like the prettiest one. Oh, that's the.
Well,
will we see some gameplay?
That's the question.
Yeah. There it is. It's a bit cluttered to be like considered really beautiful.
That's fine.
I really like the effects. They have like really cool.
I thought Transistor looked amazing, but then I got bored during the intro.
Yeah, I never played this game either. I was so excited for it until it came out, and then I was like, oh, okay.
I played the first 5 minutes, and but I also I played Bastion.
Yeah.
But I didn't love it.
Apparently, did you play it through?
Yeah.
Huh. Apparently the end should be so great.
No.
Oh, okay. That's a bummer. So my friends lied to me.
No, I mean, I'm sure you would like it. I did not like it
that's
really.
Supposed to mean.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd like it.
It seems like your type of thing.
Yeah, well, I didn't get far either. Stopped playing after a while. But kind of wasn't like my hack and slash game. It wasn't Diablo, I guess.
Last night. No, that's wrong. Where did we have that?
I think you can just search on Steam. It's easier.
No, it's not released. It's that game.
The Last Night.
Is this the game?
I haven't seen it.
Yes. No, yes. It's we watched a trailer recently.
Yeah.
And I just remember it having Raw Fury mentioned somewhere, because it has, I think, various trailers. Okay, let's see if that's the right one. Yes. Because obviously this is ridiculously beautiful.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's more beautiful than anything we've seen so far, to be honest.
So here's the thing. So after, like we talked about this a couple weeks ago, right?
It's too beautiful.
It is. I guess we'll just watch this. Oh, that's Lauren. Like, yeah, my wife reminded me what this song is. You might know this too with the Dead Cheerleaders. That music video.
Ah, right, yeah. Pretty video. Pretty effects.
So yeah, that one is ridiculous.
We have a winner.
So, after we showed this a month ago, right? I was looking up what happened to this game because this came out in like 2016, this trailer or something, and then it just vanished. And in looking that up, I found out that we here have a milkshake duck on our hands. That the guy making the game.
Milkshake duck.
So the milkshake duck. What? Okay, well, let me find the comic that gives the context for what that is.
Okay.
Thought you
so much to learn today.
Yes. So milkshake duck.
Okay.
Fuck duck. Wow. At this point, my phone actually. Yes, this is what this is based on.
The whole internet loves milkshake duck. A lovely duck that drinks milkshakes. 5 seconds later, we regret to inform you the duck is racist. Oh no.
So it turns out that The Last Night is made by a guy who was very enthusiastic about Gamergate in the beginning and just asking questions. And that this game is supposed to be about... what was it? Like political correctness gone too far.
Oh no.
So like a speculative thing of what would happen if you actually got universal basic income. Nobody would work anymore. People would get depressed. Women, could get babies in an external thing so that they could smoke and drink and things like, like real deep stuff.
What if the Democrats are the bad guys?
So it's kind of that. I mean, he tried to walk that back after and everything, but I think that's what kind of killed this project. It's like, it was immediate.
Is it not in development anymore? Or
he says it's still in development, but they have run out of funds or whatever. I'm not holding my breath that this is ever coming out. Or if it does, it's probably gonna be not that good.
Yeah, I mean...
but that was clear from the beginning. This looks too good to be a good game. Right? You always play something like that and it turns out shit.
I never really thought about playing this game. I just enjoyed watching the trailer so much.
So yeah, that's...
I mean, this is so beautiful. This is what I would love our games to look like. This is like the best thing I could imagine. Like a bit better even. Man. Gris, yeah.
Let's look into Gris. Right, that was basically what happened. Like the trailer came out, everybody was like, "Oh wow, that's so amazing!" And like a day or two later, I was like, "Oops, this guy has been really vocal about harassing people because of Gamergate and shit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll have sometime in the future like a limit where like an age restriction, you can only be on Twitter if you are 21.
It's a game I've heard about a lot, or I've seen the name a lot of. I actually don't know much about.
Really beautiful. Really, really beautiful.
No matter.
I've started playing it.
That's sort of.
But it was really meditative as well, i.e. boring.
Wow, that looks like what's that snowboarding game? Alto.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Alto and of Monument Valley.
Monument Valley was really pretty too.
That's also, that's a beautiful game.
Okay, but this is second place for me now. If not, maybe. Yeah. Really pretty.
Nice.
So
what kind of game is that?
A platformer.
Okay.
What else do we have in the chat?
Actually, I may just quickly give a shout out to a friend. No, not Annalisa. Another time for Annalisa. Because she makes ridiculously gorgeous games. Angela Hay. Zephyr editor.
It's not a... She didn't make
this one.
Last Night Stand? Last Night Stand? Wholesome Cast looks fun.
So this is how I got to know her. She made this game. He beat her for Lulondara, and it's a little bit problematic. It's sort of, there's a rape accusation or like something like that, or I have domestic violence, but it turns out she's the real abuser and stuff like that. That's how we got to talking. And she was very young. She was, I think, 18 when she made that game.
Yeah, but I think it's the same thinking, right? What if?
Yeah, it's the most boring what if. The thing that the culture is asking all the time anyway. So it's like it's the status quo. What if? What if the status quo?
Well, I'd say that is the status quo actually? Yeah. Well, okay. Just scratch everything I said.
I'll try. But yeah, she makes really gorgeous art. Was it this one that looked so? Yeah, I mean, look at this shit. It's just.
Yeah, it looks nice.
So she mostly does visual novels. They're always very moody and just I love them. Yeah, at some point we should see if she wants to work with us. Okay, that doesn't have screenshots. But yes, just wanted to mention this real quick. Did you hear of Sable? It looks like a Mobius picture. Let's see. What is Sable?
Never heard of it.
Is that on Steam? Sable. Not Sale. Sable. Sable.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have trouble with the cell shading stuff.
So this is what I was talking about earlier. This is the kind of cell shading that looks cheap to me.
Oh, but this looks good. Right, I've heard of this game. I've seen this trailer before. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Right.
I don't quite love it.
No, but it's really interesting. It's really good looking. I like that it's got its really consistent style, and that it's not afraid to like fill the screen with like similar looking stuff. And it works. It definitely works. I like interesting art styles like that. Really enjoyed it a lot.
But the thing in the beginning with the mountains and stuff, that kind of reminds me of something. I think it was called Licorice Game. What? Fans? Game.
It's image search.
Yeah.
Licorice.
But I've looked for the game. Wait, so let's see. Was it called Licorice? I think so.
Slickorish? Or licorice?
I think licorice.
Licorice. Well, that's a pretty disgusting thing anyway.
It is. It was at a maze, so I'm not sure if it like came out or whatever. A maze.
Oh.
No, I'm best
gonna try.
I don't know if you remember that, but when we were at a maze last time, there was a game where you had like black sand dunes.
Sorry, I'm trying to get into our own. I want to see the chat and you're not showing it to me.
Huh? I just showed it to you.
Apply. So, okay, I'm in the chat now. So.
Yes, Limbo was nice. Sayonara Wild Hearts. I don't know.
Yeah, Monument Valley.
Yes.
Deep under the sky.
Well, this is too bad. What made it? I don't know. But yeah, it was basically like black sand dunes, and you had to activate some orange lights that then shot across them and looked all very wet. Kind of. Oh, okay. It's spelled slightly differently, I guess. What? But that looks so much better than what I... Why does my phone suggest things that look wrong?
I think licorice is... because it's liquid. It's a play on words, maybe?
I think this refers to the candy. Because yes, it looks like this.
But now you don't have any candy there, so... but you searched for a maze too. Right, that was this game. Was it this game?
You were just running across black dunes activating these towers.
Oh no, I don't think I've played that.
And it was very...
Thinking of it, another game.
So does this load or what's going on? Can't be reached. Anyway, that looked cool. Can I find a trailer? I don't know if it came out or if it was just Gabe. Oh, is that it?
Sorry,
is it me? Is this slow? Somehow I found this quite nice.
That's really nice.
It's just
made of Death Stranding. I'm not sure if I want to play this, but the trailer looks really great. Really nice music video. We could do like a tower defense game like that. Tower defense game where like the enemies come in patterns. So you have like a rhythm game as well. It's not the rhythm game, but like the music is the shooting.
So what was the Sayonara Wild Hearts? That sounds interesting. And The Witness I also found quite pretty.
Yeah, but it's
in the regular way.
Yeah, exactly. It looks nice. But it's not
it was quite pretty. I think that's still fair to say. The island was very colorful and launch trailer. Let's see what we got here. Fantasy violence. Look away.
It's my favorite kind of violence. Hey, listen. Annapurna is also like that's their thing, like really out there visual games. Fun.
Oh, I'm starting to notice a kind of theme in the pretty games that are being suggested.
That's really nice. Yeah, they're really confident with their artistic vision. They really go to places that are weird and interesting and different.
Wolf Among Us, the intro, I also find very pretty.
Yeah, don't remember that anymore. But Wolf Among Us was a pretty game, sure. But was it the prettiest?
The prettiest? I don't know.
Wasn't that the question? Or was it just
Maybe.
pretty games?
Might have been. Sure.
Yeah, that's pretty. But the animation is kind of... Like, I love the style, but... The animations are too gamey.
This is pretty.
It's okay. Kind of very similar, like this alleyway shot.
The Pepper Prince is modeled after this.
Yeah, now I can see it.
That's why I got the idea, because I thought it was awesome that in the menus, the text would kind of rotate from like pinkish to more violet. And that's what I built in the Pepper Prince. It does kind of move a bit. I made it very subtle because I got annoyed after a while when I saw it more, but that's why that exists.
Then yeah, we've got Deep Under the Sky and then Ori in the something forest, I think.
Well, then I know what it looks like. And that's also a very famous game that doesn't need our endorsement anymore.
Yeah. Still want to look at it to rate it among the other games. This is a 49-minute gameplay trailer. Colin Northway. Name sounds familiar.
This is a gameplay trailer?
Yes. Apparently.
Let's look for something that is
play
not 50 minutes long. So this is a minute, maybe that's more like it.
Ah, that game. Yeah. I see, but I really don't. It's not my style. Ah, Credit Peak, right. Credit Peak is prettier than this.
I also never really loved the other. I mean, I'd see it's special, but I love it. Similar to this.
Yeah, I don't know. Like this candy, weird, candy-esque, weird, like high resolution, colorful stuff.
Cheap high resolution.
Yeah, see, it looks a bit cheap.
Okay, and then I guess we'll finish up with Ori. That's not alright. Ori and the Willow of the Wisp.
So that's the new one. I haven't seen it.
Huge trailer.
Oh, but I think I have another one.
It's not gameplay. Oh, Trine looked also very nice.
Yeah, it's very similar, right?
Yes.
there's like new games like there's this Ghost of Tsushima. I've seen a couple of screenshots that look really nice. But this photorealistic stuff, I don't know. Rock?
Yes, just a quick different plug for some other friends of mine.
I like that. I like this drawn style stuff.
That's also someone I could see sometime if she doesn't want to work with us on something. It's a very short, atmospheric kind of puzzle game that I found quite neat.
Oh, just Shapes and Beats was also in the comments.
Shapes and Beats.
Never heard of that either.
But sometimes the predictions in my phone makes what I want to type. It's just Shapes and Beats. And bears? Oh, close enough. What?
I just watched the top one, right? Just Shapes and Beats, all bosses.
No, I'm confused by these results because these are all videos that
you've seen,
and that I like, and why is that showing up now? Is it just saying, oh, something with beats? Let's just see what he likes.
It's something that has shapes and beats, so it's probably this.
This is a really good song. I heard that for the first time in South Africa. Still reminds me of it.
Who Loves the Sun is sung by is it V with Nico, soundtrack for a lot of the Wes Anderson movies.
Velvet Underground?
Velvet Underground, yeah.
Well, that one is a bit different.
It's colorful.
Factory.
Yeah. But I don't know if I would say pretty. It's a bit too minimalist for my taste.
It's too clean again.
Yeah.
I like clean stuff.
How was this game called where you had like this big half dog, half
Which half?
It was a mixture of dog and owl or something, or like some type of bird. You were like a child and it follows you. It was like a big title.
Oh, with the big dog?
Yeah.
What was that?
Trico, says Red Rock.
That sounds sort of, yes. Is it that? What do you mean?
Possibly, yeah.
My remote just stopped working.
Okay.
So.
Vanessa says this is one of the few games with a really clean style I really like, graphics wise.
So, there you go, this one.
Yeah, that was really pretty.
The Last Guardian.
The Last Guardian, right? That was what I had in mind.
I also just remembered something. What was it? Well, anyway. Oh no, Metal Slug. That was...
Metal Slug? Really looking good, yeah.
Well, my remote is fucked for some reason, and it's time to wrap up anyway. So isn't that exciting?
Here with you.
But how?
Yeah.
So I thought we just say our goodbyes and then I go over there and press the button.
Okay.
So that was fun.
Yeah. Thanks for all the suggestions.
Yes, thanks for joining us. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Don't forget to
like, share, and subscribe.
And get Squareface for your fat, ugly face. Make it nice and geometric.
Make it fancy. Yeah, I guess we'll just stop here. Yeah. Why is this remote not working? I don't want to get up. It seems like work. Yeah. Let me turn off my Wi-Fi and turn it back on. That's fix it.
Idea. Or we just stream the whole evening.
Yeah, why not? What do you got to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Friedrich and Wenzel agree. It was a fun stream.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. You're right. It was.
It was. So, is this working again? Yes, it is working again. I almost...
Look at Eastward.
No, we wrapped up.
It looks pretty.
Doesn't. It looks normal.
It looks good.
Yeah, you always walk into traps with this guy.
Forget that one. Oh, yeah. Okay, it looks good. True.
What a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
No, it's probably a great game. I don't know anything about this. Why would I trash this? It's fine. It's fine. Lovely stuff.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Press the button.